The family of a young woman who died of cancer just months after her wedding say the medical system failed them after 2 GPS told her the lump on her arm was nothing to worry about. Now, her husband has sold his house and is traveling around Australia to raise awareness of the dangers of skin cancer. Leah de Bono, NEE Martin, died aged 29 in January with cancer in her brain, liver, lungs, spleen and bones. However, her battle with cancer started with an angry reed lump on the underside of her arm in 2012. Her parents Lex and Heather told 60 Minutes it looked ugly and would bleed when she bumped it. A GP examined the lump in early 2012, and told Ms. Martin there was nothing to worry about. She had it checked again later that year and received the same response, from a different doctor. Not long afterwards, she met her husband to-be Ben de Bono, a tradie on the New South Wales Central Coast. Amid their courtship, she decided to get the lump cosmetically removed. However, this time the melanoma did not pass unnoticed. She rang me up and she was all hysterical. She was really upset and worries, you could tell in her voice, Mr. de Bono said. She knew straight away something was wrong. Ms. Martin was diagnosed with a stage 4 malignant melanoma. She had the mole and the surrounding LYPMH nodes removed in early 2013 but, warned there was a 30% chance the cancer would come back, she went for regular checkups. Mr. de Bono said she first had checks every 3 months, then every 6. She even had a check the week before the pair wed in October last year, believing she was cancer-free. At the time of the wedding she was riddled with cancer. She would have had a brain tumor at that stage as well, Mr. de Bono said. A month after the wedding, the new-minted Mrs. de Bono began suffering headaches and nausea. Mr. de Bono said she visited a GP again who, despite being told of Mrs. de Bono's cancer history, diagnosed her with post-wedding stress. Weeks later, Mr. de Bono received a call saying his wife had collapsed at work. I just remember her looking at me and almost looking through me, he said. She couldn't really look, she could speak, her face was dropped and she had a massive brain tumor. It haunts me, never want to see anyone look like that, especially your new wife. I was holding on to her until the end. After her death, Mr. de Bono sold his house, bought a 4-wheel drive and hit the road to try to make some sense of her death, and to spread the sun safety message. Still on the road, he is not sure where home is anymore. But he and Mrs. de Bono's parents remain angry about the system they say failed her. It really makes you angry some days where things could be different if certain people did certain things, he said. Dermatologist Dr. Martin Haskett said Mrs. de Bono's case did not surprise him. He said that without expertise in the area, it could be extremely hard for a doctor to diagnose melanoma. Doctors don't always get it right, we can't possibly always get it right, he said. However, he and his team at Mole Map are working on a pioneering artificial intelligence which will compare a patient's moles to a worldwide database, returning a diagnosis in 15 to 25 seconds and, hopefully, reducing the margin of human error. Mr. de Bono said he would urge people unsure if they had received a correct diagnosis to get a second opinion and push hard.